What's the most truthful statement you said that was quite inappropriate? 1. In my history class in high school, we were having a debate about U.S. citizenship. Some were arguing that becoming a U.S. citizen is too easy, and that we need to create more barriers to citizenship to help deter criminals and riffraff from becoming U.S. citizens. One girl's parents were immigrants. She said it wasn't easy at all, and that she doesn't know why making it harder would help. One kid was determined. It shouldn't just be, like, a test. Like, I could pass a test easy. It should be a lot more to keep bad people out. This kid and I had gone at it all year. He was extremely conservative, I'm very liberal. We were often the only two debating in any class debate. I raised my hand. The only thing you did to gain U.S. citizenship was come out of a vagina. Why should it be harder than that for other people? My teacher nervously laughed while the kid sat in shock. I think we'll take some notes now. And that's how I shut down a class debate with the word vagina. It was certainly inappropriate, but definitely worth it. 2. About an hour after having been subjected to a 45-minute lecture by the ex-wife on never, ever lying to her, even little white lies to spare her feelings, and listening to her absurd claim that she would forgive me anything but that, she waltzed into my office wearing a dress from our high school days when she was 20 years younger and 40 pounds lighter and asked me, "Honey, does this dress make me look fat?" So I told her the truth. "No, sweetie, that dress doesn't make you look fat. It's your diet and lack of exercise that do that. The dress just makes you look silly." I slept on the couch in my office for the next few weeks. 3. I once was queuing to pay for my groceries and the place was packed. An older lady, around 60 but athletic and in good shape, arrived and started bumping into everyone, passing people who were there waiting. As we were all staring at her, a young guy shouted, "Go ahead ma'am, I have my whole life ahead of me." 4. While attending the christening of my husband's friend's daughter, several people were standing around conversing. I was new to this whole thing and unclear about what the day entailed, and I asked a question about it. I don't recall the question. The mother replied by asking me, "Oh, you're not Catholic?" I told her and everyone else listening that no, I was not Catholic. Someone else inquired, "So what religion are you then?" To which I unconsciously replied, "None. I actually don't believe in organized crime." I had meant to say organized religion. I hadn't even caught my slip until my husband started cracking up at all of the stunned faces. 5. After the war, some families were grieving for their kids who didn't make it back from war, whereas others were celebrating and throwing a party for their kids who came back safe and sound. I was a 16-year-old kid invited to such a celebration party in our neighborhood. Everyone was laughing, drinking and eating. Somehow, my mind took me to another world. I had a swift thought that made me engage deep inside me and momentarily lost all interactions with others. So some family members of the young soldier asked me if everything is alright and why I look sad. As a kid, I couldn't help it but to tell what I had in mind without thinking of the consequences. I just said there are a lot of women right now crying and grieving for their kids who were probably killed by your son as we are celebrating the victory. Then, the next thing I remember that I was immediately kicked out of the house. After all these years that I grew up, I can tell you now that it was quite inappropriate to say such a thing in a celebrating moment of a loved one who has just survived the bloody war and came home safe and sound. But I still think that what I said was the truth that nobody wanted to hear.